If you like what you hear in this podcast and want to help us keep the lights on, then you could support us on Ko-fi for as little as a £1 one-off donation. The links are in the episode description. Thanks for your support. This is Skip, the podcast where we tell you, in our opinion, which albums are truly unskippable and which ones belong in the skip. I'm Mike.
I'm Rob.
And that was the third goddamn take of that because I've had a good long break abroad, but we're back now to round out the year. This is our last batch of recording for 2025. Just to let you know how far ahead we record these. So the last full album review of the year today.
And it is a very exciting album.
It is. We kind of hinted at the end of the last episode that it is exciting. And it is exciting because it's a band that we're kind of already a little bit into, so some biases may apply. This week we're taking a look at Automatic by Don Broco. We've mentioned them a couple of times. They are one of the bands that we have been into. We featured them on Tracks of the Weeks before as well, mainly because they've had some new singles this year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think No, it was Cellophane. I was about to say
it was Cellophane.
Cellophane's the one that we've previously talked about, but that's a new one. We are talking about Automatic.
And this one was sent in by Tom.
Yes.
From our Facebook. Fun story. He was actually supposed to come and see them with us at the Alexandra Palace, but had a terrible car crash.
He did. I remember that, and that's how. Isn't that? No, I already had a ticket.
You already had a ticket. We this one's for you, Tom. So it's time to put the lads from Don Broco to the test to see if they get that unskippable vote.
I hope this makes up for us taking your ticket. But he was a great gig, I got to tell you.
Although I did give him his money back.
Oh,
I will
what
say,
a man. What a man.
I didn't make him pay for his ticket and then go, ha, you're not there.
Could you imagine if they were just like, nah, mate, I'm keeping it and also hope your leg never gets better?
Yeah.
You're a terrible friend like that.
I didn't say that, thankfully. And he made a full recovery, so hey,
Yay.
Go on, Tom.
Has he seen Broco since, I wonder?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. So he made up for it.
Yeah, we saw him at the last show that we went to.
Hold up. When did we last see Broco together?
The Birmingham date, NEC, NIA, whichever one is actually in Birmingham and not next to Resorts World.
Yeah.
Where Papa Roach supported.
Papa Roach did support that, was the NIA, yes.
Because you didn't have a ticket.
That was it.
I gave you my partner's ticket.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
gig.
that was good as well.
That was about 3-4 years ago now.
It was crazy that in the time in between those two gigs, because Ali Pali's a big place, and then the NIA is not a small arena.
No, it's not.
And they didn't do that whole crappy half cut-off thing like they do sometimes for bands that can't fill.
No, they just opened it all up.
It was full. And the interim gig that I saw them in was the O2 Academy, which is like, people like say it's like one of the most popular venues in Birmingham. It's also really small comparatively.
It is, but the one thing I will say about Don Broco is they love to do a mix between stadiums and smaller shows because it's a different vibe whenever you see them. Like, I have to admit, I prefer the more intimate shows. I think we all do. So it's nice that they still do those alongside like the bigger arenas.
Kind of depends on the band. Like, Broco, it's interesting that we've got this much of a history going into one of these episodes, but Broco can fill big rooms.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, like, their sound can fill big rooms. Right, Automatic. Do you want to give us some history before we go into what we've already kind of got as an experience of the album?
Sure thing. So, if you want to feel old, this album actually came out 10 years ago.
Automatic came out 10 years ago.
Automatic came out in 2015.
Christ alive.
So that is a really good indication of how well this album is still received because we're still talking about it. And yeah. So it was the second release from the English band Don Broco, released on 7th of August 2015 and was included at number 13 on Rock Sound's top 50 releases of 2015. It was also charted at 6th in the UK album chart and got a certified silver status.
Okay.
So 60,000 sales.
Okay. That's pretty good. Like, I feel like Automatic wasn't like the height of their career just yet. So silver is not bad for a band, because this was and I can get it right this time, this is their sophomore record because it followed Priorities.
Yes.
I don't know when Priorities came out, but obviously prior to 2015, which is
2012.
2012. Oh my God.
And I remember first hearing about them on Kerrang because I heard the song Actors and it said the word biscuit, and I was hooked.
That's all it took.
This is the first album from Don Broco you'd actually heard properly, because I remember introducing you to it and showing you that they had 2 albums out at the time, and saying my preferred album was Priorities, and then you had to listen to this and went, oh, I don't really like Priorities, but I love this one.
Yep, that is exactly it. So I got into Broco kind of in the lead up to Technology coming out, which was at the point, I'm pretty sure you convinced me to go to a gig based entirely off the song Everybody, which was a non-album single that then got added to Technology. But obviously the stuff that we had to go back to was Automatic, Priorities, and I tried Priorities, and I think on reflection I see its better qualities now, but it is a much more stripped down version of what they're capable of doing. Whereas Automatic felt like the record they could make when they got a bit more money behind them, and there was a little bit more engineering talent in the room. And you know what? I think whilst it was the album that got me into the band kind of proper, it's interesting to think about it in context of what they've done since. Because both Technology and Amazing Things have done, well outclassed the Automatic into the charts. I don't know whether any of them went gold or even beyond that, but sales-wise. But in terms of just pure radio play, it's a lot more of a popular album. Amazing Things reached #1 in the album charts when it was released as well. So they're on the up and up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And we got in early.
We did, yeah. But I think, weirdly, looking back, I feel like Automatic might be the one that kind of feels the least Don Broco. Now, that isn't to say it's bad. It definitely isn't bad, and we'll talk about the goods, the ups and the downs as we go on. But, this is very different to the stuff they produced before, and then dramatically different again to Technology and Amazing Things, which kind of felt more like, I'm not going to say the same sound, but you could see the through line from Technology to Amazing Things more. That kind of very grungy alternative sound into a bigger, more spaced out grungy alternative sound. Automatic's a lot cleaner. And that is absolutely to both a benefit and a detriment, depending on what you want either from this band or what you want from your alternative rock. But I mean, that's just me kind of service level looking back. I know Priorities was something that you ranked above Automatic at the time, but do you think that's changed coming back to it for this episode?
For me, no.
Okay.
I can see exactly what you're saying about the way that this album's been produced, and it feels like it has more money behind it. And yeah, I've re-listened to this and realised, there are some absolutely incredible songs on this album that their back catalogue would be so dearly missing if they weren't there. But I still can't get over the fact that this album nearly broke them up.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, this album was really pushed by their record label, and the reason that it was such a significant shift in sound is because that's what the record label wanted. They didn't really get to produce music in their own voice, in their own tone, which is why this one is much more synth poppy than Priorities, which was a lot more heavy indie.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Heavy indie with weird hip hoppy grime elements. I'm not going to say it goes fully into those genres, but you can hear more of what I would describe as working class UK music in Priorities.
Oh, 100%.
And this is very slick. It can be a little bit cheeky and British sometimes, but it feels very slick, very Americanized, which makes sense when you know it's Sony that were the ones that were making this. What was is it just Sony International? What's the record label? I know it's Sony something.
It is Sony Music Entertainment.
Sony Music Entertainment. And by God, does it sound like this isn't the record that they wanted to make?
Oh, 100%.
And again, I think that's a testament to how talented these lads are, that it sounds as good as it does, when I think it's pretty evident that it's not solely their hands on the wheel. And I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that, as much as I enjoy it, a lot of Automatic does feel quite homogenous. I do feel like the tracks blend into each other, not in a way that feels like you're being told a story, you're being taken on a journey, or kind of sonically being put in the headspace of the process of the writing. it feels more like they cracked Don Broco down and built it up as a solid foundation for really good sound, really good polished alternative rock with synth elements, and then did that again and again and again. And it's not to say that that's bad. It's not to say that the songs are bad. There are tracks on this album that are still live favourites, both for the band, for the fandom at large, and certainly for me. But I just feel like the thrust and the kind of the shift and the change and the artistic choppiness that perhaps you found on Technology and Priorities just isn't here. I don't know what you think, though, because, like, obviously I'm the one that reads into it more than you do. I feel like you come at it from much different angles. So let's hear what you think now.
Yeah, so as you say, you like to read into it. I like to just sit and listen. I think that this album has really like unique sound to it out of the rest of their back catalogue. So much softer, better for just a generic sort of audience. And if I'm right in thinking, this was the first album that they properly launched in America. So would very much be trying to hit that sort of frat guy college vibe. That's what it feels like to me. It's like softer, so it's not so abrasive to an American audience. Whether that worked or not, I'm not sure. Judging off the fact that every release after this is so much heavier and back to the original tone, I'd say no. But yeah, but I think that as a whole, I love this album. Don't get me wrong. It is one of their best pieces of work. But I still think I prefer Priorities because that was my first integration with them. And I remember waiting for that album to drop, trying to Google the word biscuit.
What do you mean trying?
I was Googling the word biscuit to try and get whatever band it was to come up before the days of Shazam because I didn't have an iPhone or anything like that. So I had to go on Google,
like
type in Kerrang, really takes the biscuit. And then I managed to find... This is how far I had to go. I had to go onto the Kerrang website,
right,
and go through the live show and rewind it to get the live caption of who it was and the song title. And I remember Googling them from there and going, "Oh, they haven't got an album that I can access. Like, there's nothing on the internet. Oh, they're bringing one out." And then I bought that album. That's how long ago it was. I bought the album.
Yeah.
It's a digital download, which no longer exists because I lost the email account.
Ah, man, that sucks.
I know.
I think the first record of theirs I bought might have been Technology. I don't think I own Automatic yet. I say yet. Well, maybe I'll buy it.
No, didn't we both buy Technology at the same time? Because I went to the store signing, you couldn't make it.
Yeah, and that's when they done some autographed ones that they put in like, oh, you pay like $5 or more than the standard ticket price, and you get that one, and that's the one. It's on there somewhere. I'm gesturing to a unit in my recording space. It's on there somewhere. Yeah, I know for a fact. In and amongst all the Pokemon stuff that I've added to it, so that's fun.
So where Mike got £5 for an extra signature, I got a free acoustic show.
Yep. Was it good?
It was really good, actually.
Nice.
It was comical. I was at the very back of the queue. And then we were walking into the store, and for some reason they went, okay, back of the queue to the front of the stage. I was like, yes! I was second in line.
Dope. That's good.
Oh, what a day.
So you met them?
Yep.
I haven't met them. Like, there's quite a few. I feel like the whole, like, maybe it's because record stores are dying, but the whole meet the band, get a signing thing was quite big when we were, like, very young. I think I've met and had signings from bands like Biffy Clyro multiple times.
I don't want to talk about the band that I've had the most meet and greets with.
If it's the same as the band that a lot of my friends from my school, because we didn't go to the same school, a lot of the friends from my school had, I think I know why you're not mentioning them.
It is the same band.
Yeah, I thought it might be. They did a lot of them.
They did a lot of them.
You can put two and two together as to why they did so many.
They did a lot of them.
God.
But I think my favourite one was meeting Funeral for a Friend in a teenage nightclub event in Birmingham, which was in the day, getting them to sign a copy of Hours before I'd ever actually listened to them, and then selling it to somebody on the metro for 40 quid.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, score.
Were you ripping up the track and selling them that at the time?
No, I wish. And then, 10 years later, I managed to interview them on their tour bus, and I was like, this is such a surreal thing. I've gone from meeting them and touting their signature for 40 quid to actually meeting them. Really nice guys.
Yeah.
Really nice guys.
I imagine that most UK bands are really nice guys, notwithstanding the one that you've met multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every member, but anyway. You can figure that
Let's
out.
not dwell on that one.
No. Back to Don Broco.
Back to Don Broco. Lovely lads.
Lovely
really nice
boys.
lads.
I ain't met them, but like I'm assuming lovely lads.
Smelt lovely.
Smelt lovely.
They did.
That is the worst thing you could have said.
They smelt divine. Hey, there's too many rock stars out there that smell like literal piss.
That's how you can tell nothing untoward was happening, and they got a good night's rest.
Exactly.
It's
they
good.
looked really nice and bushy-tailed.
Whether you are a rock star or whether you are just at school, remember, you always get your sleep, and the early bird gets the silver record.
And don't smell like piss.
Yeah, that's just good advice for everybody.
That's just my advice on life.
This has taken some turns.
It really has.
Shall we do best tracks? Because I feel like we've kind of like set out the gate that like we still love this, but it is kind of imperfect in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, some of the best things have imperfections, so that may or may not affect the actual end rating. Best tracks. I want to start because I'm just going to get the obvious one out of the way because it's still a live favourite. Nerve is on this album. Nerve is fantastic.
Nerve is incredible. It is up there in the top list of tracks for this album for me.
And just by Don Broco in general.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And also in terms of their live stuff as well. Like everybody likes this when they crack this out live. It feels relatively unique on the record, and I know that might contradict what I said earlier about it feeling quite homogenous. I think that's because Nerve is the only one that allows that tempo to sink back down. It is a bit slower, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have grandeur and space, and within that they can kind of create a bit more of a wider sounding song for an album that kind of feels like it's going in one direction the whole time. I think Nerve is the standout because it is so, it kind of feels like it's the progenitor to some of the stuff they ended up doing on Amazing Things, because it does feel, this isn't the word that I want to use, but orchestral. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I get what you mean.
It feels like there's room for that sound to expand. And I imagine if they did do like this is where I find out when they've already done this and I didn't know about it. You know, like how Florence did the Albert Hall shows? They've already done it, haven't they?
They've already done it, I think.
They've already done it?
I think so.
God damn it. I bet you they've done Nerve. I'm checking on Spotify right now, because if I've just invented this and it's already a thing, that would be very funny.
Yeah, they did it in 2022 for the Teenage Cancer Trust.
Yep, and they released that as an album in 23, and where's Nerve? There it is! There it is!
It's like you called it.
It proves my point, though.
I mean, they did Gum Shield as well with an orchestra.
I would love to hear Gum Shield with an orchestra.
Well, you can, because they've released it as an album. There we go.
Out of interest, how many songs from Automatic made it onto that live CD? So, I mean, they were on the Amazing Things tour, so you'd expect a lot of Amazing Things to be on there. But Further's there, Nerve is there, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
So that's nothing from Priorities and 2 from Automatic. I mean, maybe that's just the CD version. I don't know.
Potentially.
But that kind of proves my point, is what I was saying about Nerve, is that it has space to be expanded, and I think that's what makes it sound so different to something like, and again, these are good tracks, something like Superlove or Automatic, which feel very engineered to be done by a 4-piece, and they're still very good, and they expand the sound by layering on the vocals. Like in Automatic, it's the ooh, and the way that kind of rises and falls at the start, it's one of them doing it, expands to 2, then you've got the kind of the echoed and chorused versions of that, and then climbs back down in the song later on where it's just back to Rob doing it. Makes total sense.
Just a caveat.
Yep.
The singer is called Rob. He's not talking about me.
No. If you were moonlighting as a member of Don Broco, I'd want to know, frankly.
You'd want to know.
I'd want to know, oh.
There we go.
Is that on this one as well?
No.
Ah, that's a shame.
Sorry.
That is a shame. Sorry. Well, you've ruined that gag.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Mark.
So Nerve is top, I think. And I think it stands the test of time 10 years later on. It's still been included in the live set list. It's still the one that when you say Automatic, outside of the title track, because it's obvious, it's the one that kind of reminds me the most of this era of Broco.
I've got another 2 to add to that.
Okay, let's hear them.
So I completely agree with you on Nerve and Automatic. Amazing tracks. I've got some a little bit more out there ones.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think I've got 3 looking at my list now.
Go on.
So I've got What You Do to Me.
I do like that one.
It's just so catchy. Like, it feels like a breakup song. It's just, it feels great to listen to. It hits you in the heart, especially if you've got a great set of like speakers or headphones. It's like, oof, proper punchy. Following that, you've got Fire.
No, that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Contentious one for you.
It is
I'm
for
assuming.
me. It is for me. Let's hear why you like Fire first.
Keep up. I think the actual beat of it and how simple it is, I think that's why I like it so much. And it's got a really catchy chorus. Like, it just really, for me, I can just sit there and just really enjoy being in the moment with it. Proper earworm. I think that's what it is for me. It's an earworm and great rhythm, and I could just keep listening to it. And then finally, Keep On Pushing, because it's funky as fuck. Bow, 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 bow.
Now,
I don't know.
Is that one on? Yes, it is. It's fine. Because the other discussion we need to have is if we're gonna allow anything beyond further, anything further from further, if you will. So the only version that's available on Spotify, which again is the main way that we're listening to these albums, is the deluxe version. So not the original track listing has got.
There were 10 tracks on the original release.
Yes,
and then there was
14.
an additional
4. Money, Power, Fame, Bad Feeling, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. You want to know?
Yeah, I can't count. The other 14.
And Money, Power, Fame is not made for this record.
It's not. It was a standalone single.
It was, and you can tell. I think. Okay, let's square this away, because I think I could easily talk about Money, Power, Fame in this section as well. What I think is the right thing to do, as we have done with every other album before, is you have to take the original release. Re-releases can be brought into the discussion, but they're not the full evaluation. And we have to say whether the original 10 tracks make up an unskippable album or not. Do you agree with that?
I completely agree.
Perfect.
Which is a shame, because one of my favourite songs they've ever released is in this list.
Is it Money, Power, Fame?
No, it's You Wanna Know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I love You We Want to Know as well, but Money, Power, Fame is like, that's like top 5 Broco song for me.
Money, Power, Fame's up there for me. But did you know that You Wanna Know featured on the Made in Chelsea soundtrack? There we go. That's what I'm here for.
Why do you know this?
I looked on Wikipedia.
It feels like the kind of thing that like you would just absorb by osmosis, but thank Christ you didn't. Jesus.
I've never watched any of those reality shows, so I wouldn't know just from watching it. But
the background of me doing anything in the living room, not on the TV now, is The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and they just...
Did they just adopt a new Mormon?
And then that would be a hell of a plot line. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing it very loudly, and I don't appreciate
They're making butter or something.
I don't know what the hell they do.
Oh no, I'm not thinking of Mormons, am I?
You're thinking of the Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want that show.
The Secret
Lives of Amish Wives.
Oh yeah, I'm in for that one.
Yeah, none of them give any camera interviews because they think it's a demon trying to steal their souls.
You will not get my butter.
Right. Fucking Money, Power, Fame. Money, Power, Fame is so goddamn good, and it's such a shame that I can't bring it into the evaluation of the album, because I genuinely think it's one of their strongest songs. I think it's just at that point where they're about to go back into the very heavy grungy sound, and it's just on that little precipice of it's heavy enough for it to be almost, it could have been at home on technology, just about, but also it is still very, very well engineered. When they put that song together, it's very good, and it's one of the few songs from this cycle that like fully invests into all the things that make them unique as a band. The 2 vocal styles are more prevalent on that track than really anything on the album proper, and it's very, very, very good.
To me, it feels like that track was made to show Sony, this is what we can do if you give us money.
Yeah.
It's like when they were trying to find their place, because it was a stylistic change in the way they looked as well between Priorities and Automatic. It was like that's where their image changed. I think Rob shaved his head, and they went through a very different phase to Thug Workout Days, which was the most hilarious music video I think I've ever seen of just 4 lads in a park.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great when you just see when they crack out Thug Workout on a live show and everybody just press up.
Oh, that's great. Part of the press up squad.
Yeah, the image from Automatic, it's very slick.
Yeah,
everyone's got like very clean cut hairdos. I think even Simon, the guitarist, like hasn't got much of the beard going on.
No.
Whereas like in all the videos for the Technology Cycle, the beard is like fuller length and shaved head, and he looks like he's encouraged to play very crazy characters in those videos.
Yeah, it feels like they were styled to look like an 80s band for that particular album.
Which it lend into kind of the neon kind of aesthetic of the artwork. Because the artwork's good, it's fine. Like, we don't often talk about the artwork, but I'd like to start talking about the artwork more. And it's this very kind of
Miami Vice style.
You know what it is? It's the environment that I think they were singing about in Come Out to LA.
Yeah.
Which featured on Technology.
Which goes back into my initial thoughts that this was their America breaker.
It didn't work. Well, it kind of worked. They have done America, right?
They have done now, but this was their release into America on Sharp Tone Records, which became their main record label.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. It fits them more.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, like, it's a shame that, like, and Bad Feeling as well, I feel like, of the additional track. It's really good. It's really only Wrong Place, Wrong Time where I don't have much to say about the additional stuff. But, like, those 3, Money, Power, Fame, Bad Feeling, You Want to Know, add so much to Automatic. It's just such a shame that they're not really in the contention.
Bad Feeling. Bad Feeling.
And again, that's the sound, the overly engineered sound. But it works oddly better than a handful of tracks on Automatic proper.
I wonder if, other than Money, Power, Fame, as that was an individual release, whether these were the tracks they wanted on the album, and the music execs went, no, you have to put something like I Got Sick, or Tough on You and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or Further. Maybe like these were the originals they wanted to put on there, and they got told, no, if this album's being released by us, you have to put these on there.
Yeah, it's weird that you, and we can go into the bad now, but like it's weird that you pick out I Got Sick and Tough on You, because those are the ones that just do not feel like this band. Like
it feels like it was trying to be an arena set of songs, and they're just not. They're just quite weak because they don't focus on all of their strengths.
No,
they try and highlight Rob's ability to sing and Simon's guitar playing, and they just miss on the whole band ensemble. The reason they work so well and the reason they've continued to do so well is because they work well together.
Yeah, totally.
It's not an individual project. It's not like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 being the swinginest Jackson. It's they need all of them together to be able to make that beautiful music.
Your algorithm's been throwing up that reel at you as well. That's good.
My algorithm lately is just that geezer that's SpongeBob in the musical, just hitching up his britches like time after time and going, nah!
I've missed this. I don't know what
the
this
geezer
is.
that Ariana Grande split from his wife.
Oh, the guy who
played SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just him doing random bits in Broadway.
All I get now, and this will date this recording, is have you seen? It's a meme. It's a show that stars John Hamm, and it's like him, like closed eyes dancing in a club. It normally follows like people hating their life and then just like remembering when they were 10 years younger.
Oh, with a dog as well. The dog going.
Yeah, and the eyes closed, and it cuts to John Hamm just with like a song that's not even from the show. I've been listening to that on Spotify. It just kill me. I've become absolute brain rot. It's no good. That's all I get.
In space.
Or the shit that you send me. Help. And table tennis.
The tables.
I love that table tennis reel.
It's just when it hits him.
It's the cut. It's the as it just shatters.
Just perfect. Anyway.
This is not a discussion for anybody else other than me and you.
Into the bad.
Yes.
So there are a couple of tracks on here I think are a lot weaker than the rest.
And you've named them.
Yeah. I've named some of them. Like,
Oh, you might have more than me in this regard.
so Let You Get Away, I think, is quite weak.
I will concede that, but I don't not enjoy it.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy these tracks. I just think that one's very weak compared to the rest. And same with that song name is so hard for me to say with a speech impediment. Further.
There you go.
Have I said it right? For the first time.
Further. I'm just taking the piss.
Further.
Yeah, you got to say it like Matt Berry in the IT crowd. Further.
I'm just going to call it Dad from now on.
No, that's further.
Pops.
So Pops, yeah.
Yeah, so Pops. I do like that track, but it feels like it's not supposed to be in their back catalogue.
I get it. It doesn't sound like them so much, and it's almost the very slightest of departures from this sound that's been engineered for them in this one. I quite like Further. I think you've got a bit more of that. How should I describe it? The dynamics that they've done with, is it Matt, the drummer, who's the backup vocalist?
Yeah.
Because his range is much higher than Rob's, and they utilise that a lot in this one. And perhaps that's something that they didn't really perfect until they got onto technology. But it's just up towards that kind of understanding of the band dynamic that perhaps they haven't done in the rest of the record. But because of that, like you say, it's not so much a part of the sound of the rest of Automatic. And depending on how you feel about that, that could be a good or a bad thing. And I feel like that's a good thing because I wanted something slightly different by the time we get to track 10. But if you like this record, it's a departure. So, like, I don't know. I'm not all the way there on it. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the worst.
I think it's a good track to end the album.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree. It's a great track to end the album. But I get the feeling that this isn't one that they wanted to make.
You think?
I don't think that this is them as much as some of the other tracks. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Superlove.
Yeah.
Which is a great track and utilises Rob's higher vocals, which we don't hear too often. Even if they do say soup love. It sounds like they're asking for a bowl of soup. But yeah, like that sort of track feels like it's more them. Where this one just feels a little bit more of a departure. And as I say, I've got Sick, which is just a bit...
It's such a nothing track.
Yeah.
I hate to say, I don't wish to be so disparaging, but there's really no element of it that I could pick out and go, that bit was good. Or that bit kind of felt like it informed what they did afterwards. I Got Sick just feels a little bit like...
made for the album.
We would quite like to get into double digits.
Yeah.
Just do something that sounds remotely like some of the stuff. In fact, it kind of feels like it has that down thing. Kind of feels like it comes from speeding up What Do You Do to Me. The ooh bit like feels like they rob it off the back end of like Superlove.
It's like a mega mix.
It is, and that's what makes it feel like absolute filler. And that is just a shame because
it's a shame because I don't mind the song.
Well, imagine you'd taken that out and you'd put You Want to Know there or Bad Feeling. There would have been a little bit more variance in the album, which would have made it a little bit more exciting to listen to. And you would have got rid of something that just feels...
fillery.
Yeah, it's a fucking styrofoam packing of the album. It's just... It's not the bit I'm excited to get through, you know what I mean?
I completely get that, but it's just a hard one, isn't it? Because we both are looking for this album with rose-tinted glasses, unfortunately. Because
totally.
We've listened to it for 10 years. Like, it's a big album. It's a great album. And Tom, you're a bastard for recommending this because we've struggled so hard to agree on this one, I think. Well, we've talked about it in the past before this album was submitted and went, oh, do you think any of their albums are truly unskippable? And we sat and had like a 45-minute discussion in real life. Like, we don't just do this for you guys. We actually do this randomly, just out in public, or if we just spend a bit of time together. We just sit there and critique music. It's a thing that we do.
Yeah.
So keep sending those albums into skippedpod@gmail.com.
Good lad.
You got to do it.
It's a weird one, and we'll come towards the conclusion of this now, because we've got other things to record, and we just be repeating ourselves, just going, we're big fans, but we don't feel like it's their strongest. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's unskippable. I feel like
Chicken Tonight.
I certainly do. Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry for spoiling your rhythm. I keep doing that today.
I feel like if you were to look down this, there is a good selection of songs here. And whether or not they ended up being ones that the band would revisit and kind of perfect in the live sound, which is something they absolutely did for Nerve, something they probably did. I feel like they still do Automatic live, and it's still good. And like Superlove and Automatic and What Do You Do to Me, like as that kind of like cluster at the start, really good. Fire, we disagree on. I didn't really say why. I just, I don't like the kind of like the way that the vocals bounce at the start. They go, it just feels a bit like they were ripping off what the Future Heads were doing.
I can see that. Maybe it was just them testing out vocal balance.
I mean, the Future Heads, that song got big in America, so it kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know. So I'm not the greatest fan of Fire. Nerve I love. And then you've got like, after Nerve, it's very much like a mixed bag.
Oh, my days.
Both I Got Sick and Tough on You, I feel like are absolute nothing tracks. And it doesn't mean I don't dislike them, and I wouldn't turn them off if I had it on. But I would skip them inside of a bigger playlist. I feel like I would listen to it start to finish, and you might think what I'm about to say is it's an unskippable album. But I have to put this into context of, I love this band, and I like this album already, and I want to give you something exciting to listen to that's fair and just and feels thought about, that isn't just me going, this is one of my favourite bands and you should listen to it because I'm great. So that in mind, when it comes to the unskippable verdict, I think if we were talking about the extended version, I think it would have been. I think it would have been unskippable. Because Money, Power, Fame is, in my opinion, a top 5 song from them. One of the best they've ever done. And then you get Bad Feeling and You Want to Know. And then the ratio of kind of miffy but nothing great songs to powerhouse hits is overwhelming. And it's just easy to say, just stick with it for those 2 or 3 tracks that aren't perfect, and you get a very good package. You take them away, and you are left with 10 tracks where 3 or 4 of them are not fantastic, and the hits are still pretty good, but not their best hits. I think, just to be fair to everybody, I lean more towards skipped, mainly because I know that they got it right the next time round.
So I was having the same thought pattern as you with the extended and the short version. But you have to take into account that even with the extended version, you've still got the exact same track list with additions. So if you feel like one of them is a skippable album, both are skippable, unfortunately. It doesn't matter how many amazing songs you throw on there, that's still a skipped album with incredible tracks on. And I completely agree. There's too much filler in this album for me to be able to definitively give it that unskippable verdict. I might sit there and enjoy listening to it because I'm a big fan of their earlier music. Like they lost me at Amazing Things and that terrible Birthday Party song. But their new stuff's picking back up, so I'm interested again. But for this one, unless you're a seasoned fan and want to really give it a shot to see what they could have sounded like if they'd have carried on with the Americanisms that they were using, then I'm going to have to put it in the skipped category.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I can't even recommend it as a place to start. If you don't listen to Don Broco already, I would say start with Technology.
Oh, 100%.
It's just...
Or even Priorities.
Even Priorities, and again, I'm not the biggest Priorities person, but like I see the value there. Technology even more so. I'm like, this is who they are now and going forward, and you can kind of see the vision from there. When they returned back to doing something that was more grungy and was more... I'll put it this way, you would never get... I forget which song it is on Technology, but you never get the Chili con Carne on this record. Really don't like it. You wouldn't get that on Automatic, and that feels more honest to who they are. And that's what I feel like the record lacks as a whole. It lacks the honesty that came with the later and earlier releases. It's supremely put together. The engineers on this did a stellar job at refining this sound into something that should have been really commercially viable. But commercially viable doesn't necessarily mean wholly artistic. And I think that is just something I can't ignore. Still love some of the tracks on here, but it's not perfect.
Yep, I completely agree. And as much as I'd love to say this was an unskippable album, in our initial discussion before this album was submitted, we said the exact same thing as we're saying now. We cannot wholeheartedly say that this album is unskippable.
I really wanted my mind to be changed.
Same. I wanted to as well. But there are sometimes you sit there and go, I could skip that one.
Yeah.
But just a fun fact to round off. It's not all doom and gloom. So that song was called Good Listener.
Okay.
And off the back of that, they actually released their own premium chili con carne on their website.
What the fuck?
So
please tell me that it's got in like a hand script. I really don't like it.
I don't know, but they also did sell Don Coco for a while.
Why?
they're suckers for branding.
I got it. Like, there's some interesting merch coming out of bands recently, but like that's a new one.
You weren't expecting Don Coco or Don Broco's premium chili con carne.
Is there like a product shot of it available?
There's a video.
There's a video.
They put a video out of him walking a dog through a town centre.
They are very funny lads, I'll give them that. That's what this record lacked. Was
humour.
Yeah. It totally really wasn't there. Like, you think about the videos in the technology cycle and how funny they could be. And oddly disturbing in the case of Pretty. And I feel like all of that kind of like funny, kind of eclectic British energy is lost. You think about the video for Superlove. I love Superlove. It's a great song. It's just the whole banquet table continuous panning shot thing. It's kind of a bit dull. And I guess that's an indictment for the record, which is just such a shame.
It is a shame.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, mate. Like, it's good. We agree with you. It's good. Just not good enough to get on that wall.
Unfortunately, this time, Don Broco, you haven't made it. But if you want us to listen to any more Don Broco albums, or any of your other favourite albums, or even albums you don't like but you just can't skip,
you just want to torture us.
Yeah, you just want to torture us. I mean, we have some very odd suggestions on our list already. If you want to throw some more into the loop, then feel free. All you've got to do is drop us an email at skippedpod@gmail.com. That's skipdpod@gmail.com. Don't put that E in there. We have to say it that way because of Spotify's weird algorithm.
You know what I realised the other day? Is that, like, not only is it you don't use an E, there's also a P that we've dropped as well, because obviously the branding is skip, not skip as in... So realistically, we should say you don't use that PE, which, given how fat I am, could not be more apt. Because I do not use my PE at all.
So, yes, Mike doesn't use his PE, and we also have a tiny URL underneath as well, if you do want to click on that and submit through there.
Yep, you can go to
Linktree, sorry, not
linktree.ee. I don't know how that comes up on the captions, never checked. There's a Linktree, you can go and find it. It's actually the link on our Instagram profile as well, so you can go and find us there. Send it in, we'd love to hear from you. This one's run over, so I think we'll skip a track of the week, but don't you worry. There will be lots of discussions of all sorts of different tracks over the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because whilst the album reviews are done for 2025, next week is Christmas Eve. You guys get a special Christmas show, and the week following is New Year's Eve, so you get a special end of 2025 show with 2 new formats that we're going to play with just for kind of special occasions. We hope you join us again for those, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.